Bismillah, wassalatu wassalam ala nabiyina Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah, as we begin the reading and inshallah ta'ala the study of this book, Usool min ilm al-Usool, by the renowned scholar Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymeen, rahimahullah. I welcome you and ask Allah to accept our intention and make us sincere in our desire to increase our understanding and appreciation for this blessed religion. Whether you're a student of knowledge or simply someone looking to deepen your understanding of how Islamic law works, inshallah, this series will help you to build a solid foundation in a critical area of Islamic scholarship, namely Usool al-Fiqh, the principles of Islamic legal theory. Why is studying Usool al-Fiqh important? You've probably heard discussions of Islamic rulings even if you weren't aware of it. What's haram, what's halal, what's obligatory or permissible. But have you ever wondered just how scholars arrive at those rulings? Or what is the meaning of these rulings? That's where Usool al-Fiqh comes in. Usool al-Fiqh answers key questions. For example, how do we interpret a command in the Quran or the Sunnah? And does it indicate an obligation or is it just a recommendation? How do we differentiate between these? How do we handle an apparent contradiction between two texts based upon the lack of our understanding of these texts? Can we use analogy, qiyas, to apply a ruling from one situation to a new similar one? These are common conversations that are found in books of Usool al-Fiqh. And these aren't just academic questions. They directly affect how rulings are formed in everyday life. So by studying Usool al-Fiqh, the student learns the how and why behind Islamic law. So why this book? Why Usool min ilm al-Usool? Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen, rahimahullah, was known for making complex ideas accessible to the average student of knowledge. His book, Usool min ilm al-Usool, is unique, in my opinion, because it breaks down the fundamental principles of usul into simple language while remaining grounded as a scholarly text. Alhamdulillah, this book was written with the beginner student in mind, and the English translation makes it even more accessible to students who may be new to the study of Usool al-Fiqh. But they're still eager to understand the basics without feeling overwhelmed while building a bridge that will take you to more advanced texts. How does Usool min ilm al-Usool compare to other books like Al-Waraqat by Imam al-Juwayni? Some of you students may have heard of the classical text titled Al-Waraqat by Imam al-Juwayni, Imam al-Haramain. This is one of the most famous introductory books in the study of Usool al-Fiqh. Both Waraqat and Usool min ilm al-Usool are suitable for the beginner, but they differ in their approach. Al-Waraqat is concise. It's a classical text written in a formal style, which can sometimes be challenging to understand without additional commentary, explanations. Whereas Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen's Usool min ilm al-Usool simplifies things by explaining usul concepts in a straightforward and conversational tone. What order should a student of knowledge follow when studying Usool al-Fiqh and fiqh? Building your knowledge in fiqh and Usool al-Fiqh is like constructing a building. It starts with a strong foundation. So Usool al-Fiqh will be the foundation, and the fiqh rulings are that which are built upon that foundation. So it's recommended by some of the scholars, and we're just speaking about the Hanbali and the Shafi schools at this point in time. Inshallah ta'ala, there will be an opportunity, if Allah wills, to speak about the other schools of thought in future lectures, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So it's recommended to begin with smaller texts, a primer text in each science. Some scholars will even say that a book like Zad al-Mustaqni', which is the canon or the book that is relied upon the most, wallahu alam, should be studied. Whereas some scholars say that you should start with a book like Aqsar al-Muqtasirat in the Hanbali school, or Kitab al-Furu', or in the Shafi school, Matan Abi Shuja', or Safinat al-Najat. That's if you're following a particular madhab. Then you have a Durur al-Bahiyya in the Dhahri school. Some of our brothers follow the Dhahri school, and this is by Imam Shawkani. These are more concise texts that are introductory texts into the study of fiqh, which would be acts of ibadah, worship, transactions, and other areas of law like marriage and divorce, buying and selling, etc. and so forth. And then studying Usool al-Fiqh. So this is where Shaykh Uthaymeen's Usool min ilm al-Usool comes in, as well as the study of al-Waraqat. So by having an introduction to Usool al-Fiqh through Usool min ilm al-Usool, it will give you the tools that a student would need to understand the why, the thinking behind the scholars when they're extracting rulings from fiqh, ahkam al-fiqhiyya, okay, the fiqh rulings. And then you can transition into more classical works if you so decide. Once you've grasped the basics, you can study al-Waraqat, al-Rawlat al-Nadhr by Ibn Qudama, and if you want a deeper dive into the Hanbali school, or Al-Mustasfa by Imam al-Ghazali and the Shafi fiqh school. This is just a introduction, muqaddimah, into this book, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We ask Allah to bless our efforts, to increase us in beneficial knowledge, and guide us to apply what we learn for His sake, and not make our study a proof against us on Yawm al-Qiyamah, rather make it for us and make it heavy on our scale of good deeds. May Allah increase us in knowledge and understanding and make us sincere, seeking His mercy in His face. Ameen. Wa billahi tawfiq. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.